where you at? Eureka.
Hey everyone, this is Dante's Analysis and welcome back to my channel. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and click on the notification button for any upcoming videos I'm going to be releasing in the future. So thank you guys for sticking around with me. I know it's been like a good 2 weeks since I've last uploaded a video. I just know now with this whole Rona situation, I can't really say the other word because YouTube is very sensitive about it. So if I say the real virus's name, they're gonna probably flag my video. So right now I'm just gonna call it Rona. So I just hope that you and your families are like safe in these unfortunate times that we're living in now. So for today's video, I'm actually going to be doing an album review to The Weeknd's latest album called After Hours. This album came out March 20th, 2020. And before I get into the actual album, I'm doing a little background to The Weeknd and also leading up to the release of his album. So After Hours is the fourth studio album of the Canadian singer The Weeknd. The album was released by EXO and Republic Records. The album was supported by 3 singles: Heartless, Blinding Lights, and Into Your Eyes. The Weeknd hasn't released an album since his 2016 project called Starboy, following the release of his 2018 EP called My Dear Melancholy. And the standard edition has no features. Well, this is the After Hours album. Like, the standard edition has like no features, but however the deluxe versions have remix tracks with appearances from Chromatics and Lil Uzi Vert. So getting into The Weeknd's rollout for his new project, he first teased that he was working on a new album on November 18th via performance in which he told the crowd that Chapter 6 is coming soon. And if you guys don't know, the album was originally to be titled Chapter 6 as like a reference to his album being the 6th chapter in his career. The first chapters are Trilogy, which are the compilation of his first 3 mixtapes: Kissland, Beauty Behind the Madness, Starboy, and his 2016 EP Dear Melancholy. After deactivating his Instagram account in early 2019, he finally reactivated again in November 20th, 2019. 4 days later, on November 24th, a snippet of a song expected to be on the album Blinding Lights appeared in the trailer for the Mercedes TV advertisements. As you just heard me talking about the rollout for The Weeknd's album, he was actually very calculated in all this because he like deactivated his account, doing all those things, basically being off social media just to heavily focus on this project. Having no distractions is actually really cool. Whoever is a part of The Weeknd's team, they actually did a very great job of like the whole promotion and rollout for his projects. And going into the actual album, the track listings actually has 14 songs, and with the deluxe version it has like 5 extra songs. But those 5 extra songs are like remix versions of some songs on this album. So before I get into the actual music, I'm gonna give a shout out to the producers and also like talk about a little bit with the artwork. So for the producers of this album, it was The Weeknd, Dahala, Elangelo, Ricky Reed, Max Martin, Oscar Holter, Metro Boomin, Dre Moon, Kevin Parker, Ani Zoxeris, Point Never, Prince 85, and Nobed. So those are actually the producers of this project. And also talking about the artwork that The Weeknd has for his album cover, it was inspired by various films such as Fear and Loathing in Vegas, Joker, Casino, and Uncut Gems. If you don't remember Uncut Gems, The Weeknd actually made a special appearance in that movie. The Weeknd's appearance that it shows on the album cover has been described by journalists as being red pigmented. This is him constantly maintaining a red suit and a specific hairstyle throughout all of his album promotional materials, such as his artwork, music videos, teasers, and live performances. Yeah, because I've always realized that, like, especially when The Weeknd was out promoting his albums and his singles on these like different late night shows, he always has like a red suit, a certain hairstyle, and also has like this mustache. So I'm like, okay, so this is probably part of like his concept for this project, and I thought it was actually really cool. So getting into the actual music, this is really a pretty solid album from The Weeknd. I know like when I first got into Weeknd, this was like I think this was during like Beauty Behind the Madness. That's when I first got into The Weeknd's work. Then I listened to Starboy. Starboy was fire. And now we have After Hours. And with this album, it definitely gives off that some R&B, alternative R&B, with like a sprinkle of like 80s techno and little retro feel to it. Definitely a very darker album than his previous work, especially from Starboy. I feel like Starboy was a little bit more on the light-hearted side. Like, even though it did have like a little bit darker tone here and there, I still felt like it was almost like a little bit more of like a light. Nah, actually, no. I should actually take that back because the music video for Starboy was actually very dark. I'm not gonna lie. But if I remember correctly, The Weeknd did tweet out that this album was gonna be on like more of a darker tone. And yeah, like listening to this project from beginning to end, it was definitely dark. I definitely like the lyrics. I like the story, especially on track 1. Alone Again, it talked about like the nightlife of what The Weeknd used to do when he was like in the earlier stages of his career, or actually before, or even like before when he was famous. He actually did some like crazy stuff, like hooked on the drugs, hooked on women. Like this dude, he was basically just wilding out. And it's actually cool that he actually poured all of his like emotions and rawness into this project. And I actually do like when artists get vulnerable and actually express like their true feelings of what they've been experiencing throughout their careers, and they put it into an album. So that's actually pretty cool. And also the transition from Snow Child to Escape from LA is complete fire. Because in Snow Child, The Weeknd talks about how he wants to leave LA. I guess because he's like tired of like the LA lifestyle. Because I know he's currently in LA right now. And I remember in a song that he did from this like House of Balloons project, in a song called Morning, that his whole mission was to get to LA. So from his earlier stages of his career saying he wants to go to LA, and now saying that he wants to leave LA, especially in the track called Escape from LA, it kind of shows you like, okay, LA is a very different world from New York City, because a lot of famous people are there. They're like, I'm not saying that everyone is like this, but some people are very like stuck up and pretty snobby there. They kind of have like that certain mentality that the only way for me to like get up there is to have like a whole bunch of like followers and clout. So it's like pretty crazy how a certain lifestyle in a certain city makes you want to leave. And it's crazy, man. It's just really crazy, especially in The Weeknd circumstance, and how he was basically just broke as a joke. He was homeless one point, like he didn't have any money. From going dead broke to definitely one of the biggest superstars in the world, that's like a very huge transition that someone could take. Like, it's night and day, and it's crazy. So it definitely does put you in like in a different mental space. I can see why The Weeknd like really wants to get out of that certain lifestyle. And also I do like the transition from Faith to Blinded Light. To be honest with you, from tracks 1 to 9, it's unskippable. Those tracks, those first 9 tracks of the album set the tone for the project, because it just, all their bangers are on the first half of the project. And to be honest with you, I didn't really get into Your Eyes and Save Your Tears. I don't know, I just wasn't really feeling those two songs. I just didn't really do it for me. But it did make up for Repeat After Me interlude, After Hours, and Until I Bleed Out. So those last 3 tracks actually made up for it, and it was actually very solid. Like, other than that, like, this is a very solid project from The Weeknd, and he's definitely one of the top artists out there. Since like last week, like the day that he dropped the album, it was already trending #1 on Twitter. And also was on I think #1 on iTunes too. So it was actually like crazy. That just goes to show you how popular The Weeknd is. Other than that, like, I enjoyed the project. The production was great. The lyrics were great. The story was great. And just like the whole rollout again, I just enjoyed, and the artwork. So the Weeknd music really does get you in the mood. So the rating I'm gonna give for this album, I'm definitely gonna give it like a good, oh man, I'm torn between either 8.5 or 9 out of 10. To be honest with you, I'll probably give it like a good 9 out of 10. Yeah, I give it like a good 9 out of 10. Like, again, I love the rollout was perfect. Some of the tracks were good. Like, the producers who actually worked on the Weeknd for this album were fantastic. They did a great job. The artwork was fire, and also the inspirations that led up to the creativeness of the artwork, that was fire. Track from 1 to 9 are fire. Like, those are like unskippable. Yeah, and that's like all the things that I like. And the only two things that I really didn't like enjoy were Into Your Eyes and Save Your Tears. Those are like, that's literally the only negative thing I have to say for this album. So please don't get mad at me if I say like those two songs were not the best. That's just my opinion. Your opinion is different from mine, so let's just leave it at that. In The Weeknd, you did a great job promoting and like the rollout for this album, and also just sitting back and just working on these projects for like a good while. This dude has like a killer voice, and hopefully once this whole like virus, the Rona situation that settles down, I really want to see this dude live. I've never been to a Weeknd concert, so seeing him live is definitely gonna like be like a surreal moment for me. So again, I give this album a 9 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching my video, and I'll catch you guys later.